Good morning. Um, good afternoon. Good evening. Good day. Happy New Week to each and every one of you. Welcome to SKTV. Welcome to the show. Welcome to today's edition. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to SKTV this afternoon, this morning, this evening. Um, I want to welcome each and every one of you. Today is Monday. Um, it's 6th of June. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the show. What a weekend. We had a we had a good weekend. But we want to welcome all of you to the show. We'll update you. A lot of things is going on. We want to welcome each and every one of you to the show for today. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Welcome to the show. Invite someone. A lot to talk about today. A lot is going on, so there is a lot to talk about. Yes, there is a lot to talk about. So we'd like to welcome each and every one of you. Sorry, we're a few minutes late here. Um, it, a lot of people say, "Well, I'm talking seriously. I shouldn't be laughing." I can't help it, to be honest. I just cannot help it. You know, I don't think there is any need to be mad. One of my teachers used to say, "It takes more muscles to frown and less muscles to smile." So I want to take less muscles and smile. This is why I am smiling the way I'm smiling. But welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Especially to our folks from back home, those of you watching us from Liberia, um, those of you from Asia, from the Americas, Europe, and other parts of the world. We want to welcome each and every one of you to the show. While you are at this, let's share the show, please. Help us to share the show with someone or to someone. Help us. Let's share the show. Let's get other people on. A lot of things to talk about. But we want to welcome each and every one of you. We do. We actually want to welcome each and every one of you. Um, to the fans, followers, well wishers, we say to you, um, we miss you this weekend. We're not on, but we are back on today. Siku should be joining us momentarily. And I also believe at some point Telvi will join us. I know she traveled for work. So if you don't get to see her, that is part of the reasons. Um, but we want to welcome each and every one of you. Today, as you can see the topics, as you can see the headlines, it promises to be good. Um, Lots of discussions. A lot of things happened last week. I believe last Friday was we termed it as a happy day, where it seemed more like the government was sharing happiness. It's like Santa sharing Christmas gift or candies for all the children. Everybody happy. Get it out of one candy. Get out of one candy. Everybody happy. Let's celebrate. But we'll talk about some of these things today. We will. The weekend. The weekend was good. As you can see, my eyes. I'm still tired. I'm still tired. But we have to do what we have to do. thank God I didn't lose my voice totally in as much that I did. We're still recuperating from the weekend, the wedding. It was a good wedding. I want to say congratulations to Ayala and his wife Bindu. Thanks to all of the, bridesmaids and groom men. Thank you guys. Those of you who are following us, following the show, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the love. Um, it's been good, and it is good. We have a lot of things going on. We're turning to other news very, very soon. But while we're at it, let me say I miss all of you. Those of you who can deal with me when I'm on the show. Those of you who don't like me. Those of you who like me when I'm on the show. It's nothing personal. I miss all of you. And I want to say we appreciate you for your support. I know Sekou, with me and Telvi Gary from Sekou this week. Well, Sekou are on your own. But y'all got to hang out with Sekou. It's been a while since I hang out with Sekou, so we say Sekou, you know what I mean? We tell you over to the people. So y'all got to hang out with Sekou this weekend. It was good because, I know I was following here and there. I was following here and there and trying to get bits and pieces of what's going on while we're getting ready for the wedding. But it was good. I followed parts of the interview. Sunday we had to go to the church and all that good stuff. So, but the wedding, those of you who say I know how to dance, you're condemning me, your father is out. Your father is out. But y'all need to come on here and apologize to me before the show go any further. Yeah, all of you who say Sekou can dance pop me, you're fighting me, all of you need to come and say something. You all need to come and apologize. Please, you all need to apologize. If not so, I'm not starting the show. The show not going on. I will protest. It will not be easy. I will protest. It will not be easy. You all need to come and apologize. All of you say I know how to dance. You need to apologize to me, and then we'll start the show. Because the dancing I just bounce on you with dancing. I just waste dancing the weekend for you free. Free of charge. I waste it on you. I waste dancing on you. I bounce on you with dancing. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's share the show in the meantime. It's hard sometimes when you're alone here and you're trying to get some things situated. I'm trying to get some things situated, but just in case, let me run through one or two announcements really quick. We will get into other news. We will get to the musical break and get to the topic for today. We will. Today we have a lot of things to talk about, and Mr. Cannon will be here to help us unpack some of these things. We also have the opportunity to open the lines so that you can call in and partake as well. You'll be able to call in and partake to get this thing going. But we definitely want to announce to you that on Thursday we play host to Michael Tippison. Many of you know Michael Tippison. Some of you know him in person. Some of you know him from on Facebook. But Michael Tippison will be our guest on Thursday. We'll have a conversation with him. I think it will be his debut on here. Last week, Friday, those of you that missed mental health and wellness, we want to say thanks to my sister Decanty for being our guest. She helped us understand some stuff, and she brought some things into context here last Friday. It was a good time. Don't miss this Friday, mental health and wellness, where we don't talk politics. Don't miss it. Please don't miss this Friday. We are going to be discussing some very interesting things. We're going to be talking about defense mechanism so that you can understand some of the things and some of the way people act and react. So it's imperative that you be on and you inform others to be on as well. Don't miss this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I think it's 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is Arizona time. So don't miss this Friday. We'll start on defense mechanism. We'll talk about why people gravitate towards negativity as opposed to positivity, some of the things, and why people act the way they act. But that's for this Friday. So again, please keep on your calendar. Michael Tippison will be our guest. While you are here, share the show. I think I got every time you share the show, now I can get an alert about who shared the show. And so the person who shared the show, I'll call their name. When you share the show, we can know. So one of the persons who shared the show, she just came on, one Ellen Poe. So when you share the show, you see, when you share the show, we can get an alert. So those of you who say you've been sharing the show, that's not true. We know that you haven't been sharing the show. So go ahead and share the show, please. Help us to share the show. This is how we get the information across. This is how we get to speak with others. This is how we get to inform others as well about what's going on. So share the show. Invite others. We intend to have a thought-provoking, stimulating conversation today. So we try to jump straight into other news because we think it's important to get into other news here really, really, really quick. My people, it's not easy. It is not easy, my people. Okay. It's not easy. Let me tell you now. It's not easy. So what we can say in Liberia. It's not easy. What we can say in Liberia. For those of you who are aware of some of the criminal activities within the government, and maybe you think or feel that people are not paying attention, or some of you are tired and weary. You keep saying to yourselves, so when this wonderful ascension will come and what will happen and what would the piece I read from the ambassador near Monrovia, or in Monrovia, however you want to term it, Ambassador McCarthy, about the government pointing out where they're hiding their assets and how they're moving monies around in the country and other things, points to you some of the evidences that have been collected. And our government, because whether we like it or not, President George Weah is our president, as we've always said, they are in very serious hardness that they would not be able to get out of. There's in no way, shape, or form. They've done everything. We keep saying this over and over and we keep repeating ourselves. It sometimes sounds as though we're beating on a dead horse. It sounds as though these guys don't get it. And they think this is a mere joke, or this is a Liberia's thing, or they were just talking and just forget about it. No, no, no. I think I am having a internet connections problem. Okay. I think it's resolved. If I'm much better than clearer, please let me know because I could get it from here that I am having some kind of internet trouble. I could tell from the bar on the internet signal here. Please let me know in the comment section here. Please let us know in the comment section. Um, please let us know if it's much better now. Please let us know if it's much better because we want to get into the conversation. Okay, somebody said you're much audible. Thank you, Philip. Somebody say you good now. You see that the thing about it when we tell you say the internet thing here, you'll help us. When we put the cash app down, you'll say you're not pay like that the internet won't put me in situation again, Yeah, the internet, the whole internet said it won't make me to look funny. That's all right. So the big boys are worried because they are pile up mounting issues that they have to face. I want to reiterate something we said before on here. And let me say it again. President George Weah might not run. We are 60%, 50%, no, not 50%, 60% on this information that President George Weah 2023 might not run. Now, remember today, this is in other news. Do I can say like, bro, they getting shit. Let me put it that way. Sorry for my French. But it is. I know some CDCians, some of my brothers and my sisters in CDC who still live in utopia. Still don't believe it. That's fine. That is fine. The pieces will fall together. The gas situation in Liberia. In other news, it will get exacerbated by food and other things. Remember today, it will get exacerbated by other things. Please don't tell me, say, I wish bad for my country. No, I don't. These are facts. These are the realities, and we will talk about it. We don't care who is in favor of or against. It does not matter to us. We talk about what matters to our country. The gas and rice price. Watch for the next few days. In other news, it will be problematic. And this could lead to an unexpected outcome. The government is aware. The president is aware. The pressure is so much. It's not going to be easy for the next few weeks. It is not going to be easy. In other news, in Liberia, it's not going to be easy. These are serious issues. This is not a joking matter. And this can create uprising. It can make citizens to uprise, to stand up. Let me put it that way. This is a very serious issue. There's no time to joke around. This is very serious. We're not talking about your petty crimes. This is serious. But let's get to the musical break. When we get back, we'll move to the musical break. I'll be able. They want my birthday coming. I want my birthday gift. So I will not get in problem with anybody on social media. June 11th, my birthday. Some people can be very with me while I play the music long. I will not play the music long. I will behave myself. Oh God. Now who took Beverly Padugo name can be called and said Justin? What they person yet? Talking about the divine fool here. What's going on with the person? The person always coming here and bringing noise on the show. I will call Beverly after the show. I will call her. Because the person ain't doing anything. The person ain't doing anything good. The person won't bring noise. The person won't bring noise. And Beverly not let noise be in. She ain't let noise be in. But the person always trying to bring noise. The person always trying to bring noise on the show. Helena, you said God. Let me recognize some of you quick before we go to the musical break, and then we'll come back. Let me recognize some of you really, really quick. Naomi Mimi, good to have you on. Christopher, good to have you on. Saleh, good to have you on. Isaac, good to have you on. Pamela, good to have you on. Ellen, thanks for sharing. So far, you're the only one I shared that we got the alert. The other people, I don't know what they're on. James, good to have you on. Philip, good to have you on. Jerry Zambo is one of my childhood friends. Yeah, we grew up together. We used to play football together back in the days. Yeah, come along with my man. What's up? Good to have you on, bro. Samira, good to have you on. I mean, Philip, how many times we call your name now? You just all over the place, bro. Slow down. Sita, good to have you on. James, good to have you on. I feel it begin. Gwen, good to have you on. And thank you so much, Gwen. You know what I'm thanking you for. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you that you were there when I called, when I asked a serious, even though you were in Liberia, they told me, say, I got you. Don't worry. Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate it. When the time is right, the public will know why I appreciate you. Elena Flomo. My owner says, oh, I can get velvet, but you can get nowhere to tell me what you can still come back. So my sister there, she get veggie and still come back. She can deal with me, but she can come back. Linda, good to have you on. CB Chaston Senior, welcome to the show. Good to have you on. Kim, what's up? Who they testing up person yet? They testing up person yet? Yeah, without on that turning. Don't be taking sunshine and be running around the player with not looking fine. Yeah. Jackson, good to have you on. Is that Clemnet? Clemnet, good to have you on. Sorry if I mispronounced your name or I butcher your name. Jackson, good to have you on. Kula, good to have you on. Kula, you have my cousin's name. One of my cousins that will look alike. They have a name Kula. So that particular name there, that Kula name there, it look like from Lofa, even though you don't want to see your face. But I need African. Why are rushing all the thing? What the other person in Africanus? Good to have you on. My man, I know what kind of name you put on here. I don't know how to pronounce it name yet. Don't kill your heart with it name. Yeah. Don't kill your heart. What kind of name they make get so? They men from Tennessee, they gotta get hard time. Get too much high. But you can put a kind of hard name here so. Brother, put your name that we know. They need I ain't want to pronounce the name. What is it? Well, Chenny. My man, I don't know how to pronounce that name. That name that Yeah, that name that's on name. Dementia. Good to have you on. My man, I'm calling you. Hassan Belody, good to have you on. Art Aku, good to have you on. Cool, are you from Bomi? Oh, okay. Are you seeing people now? Yeah, don't mind Prince. Can't bring all kind of funny in here. You won't confuse the citizens. Seattle Thompson, good to have you on. And my sympathy to you and your family. I did see your post, and I'll definitely reach out to you sometimes this week. My sympathy to you and your family. Good to have you on as well. Okay, I know who Clement. Okay, I know who Clement is from. Where he's from now. Oh, Kim, you know you have it a year, man. Lead that talk. Just lead that other talk. But when I'm wrong with Prince, man, why you can't bring all kind of funny, confuse people? Yeah, what ain't going on there, man? That all here try to confuse the citizen in Bahu, eh? Brother China name, man. What kind of name that to the name we can recognize? More hello. More hello. Yeah, getting onto the show more, but hello. You ain't saying hello to me, sir. Hey, say hello to me now. Tell Denary I say what's up. And I will see D hopefully in September in Georgia. So tell D I say what's up more. Prince Chinani, brother. You like Chinani, you on your own. You like Chinani, when I take your call on it, Tony, we set up a serious barricade against you in the place here. But let's get to the musical break really quick. Here. Short music I'm playing. Short music.
You don't even know my story. You don't even know your story, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know on the beat, I be a loca. So moral. You post a new car on Facebook. But that's so la la. You working butter. Loving and acting jealous, say you photo. My advice for you in my way, I got to confess. Confession. You gotta confess. You must stop the impression. Enjoyment. God your blessing. Enjoyment. No more stressing. Enjoyment. God your blessing. Enjoyment. No more stressing.
It's never gonna be another man trash, just another man treasure. Another man fool, it's another man poison. Got your good, according to your measurement. Got your good, according to your measurement. The player ain't garish, and they play you booty. Just become so impression. Impression, fake impression. Impression, yeah. You don't even know my story. Or you want to share my glory, oh yeah. Everywhere you my way, oh, Zangale. Everywhere you my way, oh, Zangale. Every touch you my way, oh.
Enjoyment, God your blessing.
So because I won't get birthday gift, I'll behave myself. I don't play long music. I will behave myself. I don't play long music because bro, the people in the comment association can't balance on me today. So I will behave myself. Yeah? Y'all in the comment association, you're sorry. I'll behave today. Today, I'm my best behavior because the whole week, we're celebrating the birthday. All of us celebrating it. All of us. So all the small things in your poor start, you're making your start dropping it. Because all our birthday, we celebrating their birthday. We celebrate. If you in a comment association, you've been dealing with me and I see a gift for you. After the birthday, I hear fine like that. You see nothing. I hear fine for you on the show. If I send you the link for you to come on, you see, I will say the link you come on, that'll be easy. The whole week we inside. All of us we inside. Any behavior. For those of you, public service announcement before we get into the conversation for today. For those of you who have been saying, oh, you can't dance, been making all the noise. Let me drink water on the one. Some of you disrespected me here openly. You question my dance move. Are you serious? This past weekend, that small bouncing I bounce on you with dancing. Big. I was dancing for you. Go over the video on because me and I on Snapchat and I on all the other things. I on Facebook. Go look for the video and get dancing move from there. Free of charge. I give it to you free. You who in the comment association, you who can be making all the noise. Go look for it now. You see how I don't even want to talk because when I talk it, you always say I'm blowing my own horn. You saw dancing? Seku saying what I think what I was doing. What are you talking? What are you talking about? What are you? Une haters will say, yeah, yo, that's part of the birthday here for me. Yeah. You're not about to put bad feeling in me that lie. That someone dancing I was doing. It made a DJ say confused and came in my ear and said, my man, I've been DJing, but you brought dance for choo. Listen, all of y'all, Helen on there, Kim, more, even my boy Prince, who changed the name because he's seen today that I really show dancing. Prince, don't be shy. You saw dancing, but let get to it. While we're waiting for Mr. Cannon to come around, you saw dancing. You saw dancing. I talk about yeah, but I'm a poor classical dancing on again for you. And so starting from today, when we're talking about dancing, you please try to put respect, to someone's name. We're not talking about either dancing where you're sitting in a chair. I was not sitting in no chair. I was not shaking my head. More is one of the person that she saw me dancing before more than once in different states. She saw me dancing I think in Maryland, Texas, Georgia, but she couldn't even vouch for me on this app that I can dance. She allowed people to room a dancing record and character on this app. Rare. She was rare. People were saying I can't dance. She didn't say nothing. But I pull her dancing now. All of you that she doing you. So she doing you for her to say thank you. Yeah, but look at Kim. Kim got nothing to say again. Nothing. You get nothing on me. Nothing. I'm walking free. I'm a free man. I'm walking free. In my Serena Seaforth's voice. I'm a free man. I'm moving free. No more. I'm not going to the show. They show you. We'll pause the show for a while because you're on a blue app. You came after me that I don't know how to dance. You came after me that I don't know how to dance. You're attack. I also be. Let be so. But anyways, I know Seku never made publicity of his birthday. I'm making publicity this year because I'm turning 1 year younger. Oh, hello, yeah, man. The topic for the day. Because you saw me dancing, that jealousy doing you jealous. You jealous. You know how to dance. You jealous. That jealousy doing you. I say it. That jealousy doing you. I say it. You saw me dancing for you to even send me small thing as a sister and say, brother, the dancing that you did, keep it up. Maybe you can sign up for more days or whatever it is. But there you are. You're fighting it. But on some real, June 11th, it's my birthday. Please keep me in your prayers. I'll be turning 1 year younger. I feel excited. I feel very young, even though I'm not. But I'm very excited. I look forward to June 11th. I think that's Saturday. Yeah, I think that's Saturday. So keep me in your prayers as we get 1 year younger. But let's get to the show, guys. Let's get to the show. Let's have this. Let's start this conversation. Let's kickstart this conversation. So if you look at the topic up on the top, you will see that we asked the question, why such an abrupt decision or pronunciation by the Liberia's court or the justice system, or however you want to term it. You recalled that when this case started in January, first of all, when it came out with the writ of arrest, we said to you, to the public, to the world at large, that the government should have never gotten into the middle of this. We are blessed and fortunate and privileged to have conversations and information about some things that the public might not be aware of. Once we say these things, people from the public, people who want or who wanted to see this case go on, pushed for Mr. Cummings to get this quote unquote go to jail, get arrested, and so forth. We said this was the wrong move. Let me tell you something. We said it before, we'll say it today, and we'll say it tomorrow. When it is wrong, regardless of whose side it comes from or who's the victim. It doesn't matter. Because the facts remain the facts. They don't change. And we told you that it was wrong, that it was a wrong move by the government of Liberia. President George Weah, the courts, and the reason we're calling President George Weah's name in it is because, as evidenced by what's been going on, quote unquote, it was the same President George Weah who ordered charges be dropped against people, against an individual, because they spoke on the phone. So that means it shows that there's an evidence that President George Weah is melting into the justice system. And that should not be the case. So we are not assuming here, we're not making any kind of, oh, you're blaming President George Weah for this. No, we are not. We are stating just what the facts are and what's going on. And that's exactly what went on. So he melted with the court's decision. He did. And that was wrong. It was wrong then. It will be wrong today. It will be wrong tomorrow. Even when the next generation comes and they read these things and they follow these things. So the argument should be not about political party or political leader, not about who you like or who you don't like. The argument should just be about the facts. And we stated it here emphatically. And we are on record. When the case started, we went on Facebook. It's our mutual community, something that we have in common, all of us, somewhere that, we go. We went on Facebook and we posted it for record's sake that this was wrong. This move was wrong. Fast forward, the government still decided to melt into this and put their hands into it because the thing, it was politically expedient. They think it was the right move to make. I said it on here. Other people said it on other platforms. Everywhere. What I did not see was the consistency. Look, because if this thing was wrong from the beginning, it was always wrong. Whether you wanted to use it to your political advantage or to step on somebody or some group of people to move on. And when people say the truth, then you'll call people, oh, the other person, you the other member, oh, you part of the other political party. It was not about political party. It was not about liking one person over the other. It was just about the truth of the matter. And that's if we Liberians want to move Liberia forward, I believe this is what it should be about. It shouldn't be about a person. Today, we're making all the noise behind President George Weah. We are. But I want to remind the Liberian people just before we move forward into this conversation that we are setting a standard. We are laying the premise for the next government. Mind you, let your favorite politician or political leader or person in life come to power and you think this is going to stop. No, it's not going to stop. It is not going to stop. It is not going to stop. Some of you might think everybody's hitting on President Joshua, whatever it is. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf got a little pass only because Facebook was not as wide as it is today, or Facebook Live or so forth. It was not this big. So some would say she was lucky. So this is not personal against President George Weah and the CDC-led government. This has never been personal. This has just been about the facts, the truth, doing the right thing, considering we voted in the president to ensure that we have change. So yes, it was wrong from the get-go. The justice system, the CDC-led government did not do due diligence. They were not calculative. They were not thinking. They were not proactive in their thought. They felt and they thought they would milk this situation. They would push this situation around. No, it doesn't work that way again. Sorry to say, this is not 1980s. This is not the 70s. This is not the 90s. No, that is not true. We're in the 21st century. We've graduated from this mindset of going after people that you don't like, putting blames on them, like other leaders did in the past, and making it look like you have a case. Only because it's politically expedient or it would benefit you at some point. It's absolutely wrong. So we've come to the conclusion wherein that we will be in the media, we have the necessary conversations, regardless of who it affects, as long as it is the truth and the facts, we'll follow it and we'll talk about it. You want to call us names? You want to say that we are this person or that person? That's fine. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You have the right to believe what you want to believe. We can term it as alternative facts. Those are your facts. Keep it moving. Nothing wrong with it. Whatever you want to believe in your head, believe it. But the truth remains. So we say it was wrong. Now, fast forward. We saw how the case played out. One of the questions that SKTV would like to address today, or the conversation I would like to have today, would be, did a recent report contribute to the dropping of this case against Mr. Alexander Cummings? Let me say this to all of you. And it's one thing for you to have your personal views or your personal biases. It's one thing. It's one thing for you to have issues with people. It's one thing. But it's another thing for you to try to ignore the facts because you have problems with people or because you think you want to bury the truth. That's one thing. Truthfully saying, and I say this here today, yes, this report brought on some serious pressure. However, before the report, let's be clear about some things. Before the report, the government should have dropped this case. Initially, they should have dropped it. They decided to take it and run with it. The government should have walked away from this case when they extracted some of the evidences that was in the public. The government should have walked away. The government should have walked away from this case when they had to subpoena their own witnesses into this case. Now, people who made accusations or who supported an accusation should have come to the court willingly. If let's say, for example, somebody makes an allegation against you and they want to get a restraining order on you in this country, let me use restraining order, and they go to the court to get a restraining order, they would have to go and take one or two witnesses that will corroborate some of the things in some cases, or the incidences, or the situation. But if the courts would have to subpoena your witness, that's concerning. That is concerning.
Yes, sir.
We can go get out now. Me tell
No,
me that already on you
it's okay. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was like
in the days there.
back to the back to where we started. So it was good. I really enjoy it. I have fun with it.
Okay, wonderful. But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but I've been listening.
oh, okay.
Go ahead,
Let me make my point, and then I'll we'll turn it over to you to get
No,
you to let you know.
You're good.
Today, Umba, you were interviewing people on Saturday. We'll interview you today. We'll interview you today. We gotta hear from you. But
No problem.
So the government should have dropped this case. Now, when their own witnesses started to drag and their stories seemed conflicting when they were asked questions, and based on some of the transcripts we have here, and maybe almost all of them, for the most part, all of the objections alone, it showed that, okay, where are we going? We seem more like we're going a little circle and making fool of ourselves. Now, just before I bring Mr. Okane into asking my questions, many of you will claim that, oh, this was Benina Ure, and it was Benina Ure's complaint. Yes, Benina Ure and the ALP officially made a complaint. However, this complaint is bigger than Benina Ure. It's not mutually exclusive to Benina Ure. They're not only Benina Ure in this whole thing. That's not true. Let's get that one clear off the table. They're not only Benina Ure. We're not going to put all the blame on Benina Ure one. No, that's not true. We saw the stages being laid for this particular case and complaint. We saw the actors We saw those who play key roles into this. So you're not better that you were alone. But Mr. Connor, let's welcome you officially again. The people been asking to see you, they're seeing you now. Every day we'll be calling you.
Oh, no, but I mean, things are kind of slow now, so pretty much I'll try to be available now.
Thank
Hopefully.
you. Thank you so much. Well, then let's get into the conversation, Mr. Kane. First of all, what do you make of this abrupt turn in the case? Because we haven't really had the opportunity to dive into this case or to talk about it. This abrupt verdict from the government or from Serena Sifos, by extension, the Liberian government, the executive. What do you make about this abrupt change of trapping the case?
I think everything was calculated, measured, and executed. I'm talking about the way they suddenly ended the case. The motives behind the case was to stall Mr. Kumis's progress, to slow him down, in other words, to denigrate him, to make him feel uncomfortable, and to also make him feel like you do not belong here. You are not one of us. And the reaction they receive, not only from Mr. Cummings himself as a person, but from the public, from the international communities, from the United States. In the middle of the case, they found themselves entrapped in a sense that they are in it, they don't know how to get out. And I told you this in the back. That the government is struggling how to end this case. I say possibly, and very soon, very soon, I say they will find an easy route. And that's exactly what happened. You know, if you look at the three scenarios, you will understand that it was all calculated, measured, and executed. First of all, the government, look at this. It was about like three different things going on at the same time. The case with stability in the United Party, stability in the CPP, and the Unity Party on the issue of feeding Kennedy in Lofa County.
Right.
That's one. Another one, case between Liberty Party, the two factions of the Liberty Party. And the third one was the case against Mr. Cummings. Guess what happened? All three cases came to an abrupt end, same day. The day before that happened, I was informed. I think I told you this. I had a conversation with one of those people involved. No, two people actually. And I was told, oh, the outcome of the case. And I was also told that by tomorrow, they will likely drop the case against Cummings. And the reason is very simple. They want to make everybody happy one way or the other at the same time. Yeah, I hope you follow you.
Right.
That's why on that fateful Friday, everybody either somehow celebrating, dancing, for one reason or the other. Because they were already entrapped. They didn't know how to get out of it. So, this, if you listen to Musa Belete when he came here the last time, he said they were at the point where he told the Unity Party people to go and tell Benina Yure, go ahead and drop this bogus case against Mr. Commish, and then we will drop the case against you guys.
Right.
You heard that, right? Okay. They received that message well. And they were the agent of the government. So whatever message you give to Unity Party, it will get to Benina Yure. And once you get to Benina Yure, it is with the government. So what did they? Instead of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, they killed 3 birds. They try to resolve all the case in a way that everybody will somehow celebrate. The people from the communist side, they are happy. Oh, communists won the case, even though there was no case. We have said time of our number that there was no case.
Okay.
First, that was for communist people. On the other hand, young people were dancing, were celebrating. For Musa Belete, who been standing up for communists, that this case was a bogus case and we want to make sure we're going to fight to the end, they're happy on that side. Then, Nyombli, Benina Yure, they were not happy about that. But to make them happy, to make them feel comfortable also, they say, well, whatever case is against the Unity Party in Lofa County, we allow the Unity Party to go and field candidate. So instead of them being sad, being sad of what happened with Kumi's case, they are happy. Then the Unity Party, they are happy. So on the other side with the Liberty Party, Yombli is happy. Imagine from suspension to decision maker, or at least to find yourself on a table to making a decision that you are back together. So in short, whatever happened, the players, some of them, as I'll continue to say, some of them don't know what they are doing. They don't know what they are into. But some of them are clearly aware of the government calculated moves.
Right.
And they enable the government to execute most of those things. So in short, it was well calculated and it was meant to do it in a way that everybody will feel somehow happy. That's what they did. But sometimes you think something is over, but it's not over. Basically, they pulling and the hauling and pulling here and there, and the noise will be reduced. But the real fight is happening behind the scene, and it may not end well.
Well, and Mr. Kane, for today we keep the real fight. We'll focus on. Do you think this particular report that just came out push the government to the brink to say, you know what? Even though we've been dragging our feet to throw this case out, let it just make it happen. What do you think? What do you think happened? Because let's bear in mind that people have criticized this report on different levels or at different stages. People having different issues. For example, some people would say, Mrs. Blair is racist. And the question that comes to mind is, okay, she's racist. Good. There are particular case that going on. That white person and black person inside, or that 2 black people. So how can what kind of racism she will do here now? What kind of racism that were in that paper? So, or in that report. So sometimes I don't understand those logic, but People are entitled to their opinions and their views. So, do you think this particular case, this particular report, help force or push the government's hand? What do you think?
Of course, yes, it did. And let me tell you this: you talk about people criticizing the report. What do you expect? You know, when something is a non-factor in Liberia, we always say, "No, I don't want to dignify that. Oh, don't
Right.
even dignify this is nothing. This is I don't waste my time on this." That's the mindset of Liberia, and that's what we do all the time. So when somebody is somehow confused, discombobulated in all of their movement, you should know that something have touched that person or those people.
Hmm.
When the report came out, let me say this, there are a lot of factors that play in the government decision to let it go. But the report was also one of the major factors because the report may not have resonated with people who wanted to see Mr. Cummings being dragged throughout. But the bigger picture was to make sure people from the international world, the United States, the European Union, and other relevant people in the world, around the world, are aware that this particular case was a bogus case. That this man is accused of something that he did not do. So, therefore, whatever be the outcome or the decision of the government, as was it was also premeditated, predetermined by Sharina Silva as to what he intended to do with Mr. Cummings.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that was going to be the outcome, at least the world know that the man was prosecuted only because of his intention to be president. So because of that, they understand that. They understand that clarity on the side of the international community, United States and other war actors, they know now that, okay, whatever we are doing here is not limited to Liberia any longer. People are watching. And even those people that did the investigation and came out with that report, I saw some people hanging on disclaimers. Sometimes I got sick to my stomach to see people that I believe that ought to know better. Doing some crazy thing that we kept me thinking again, oh, am I wrong or what's going on? So in short, Steve, that report was a major factor. That was not the only factor. Trust me. The pressure from the public, the decision from the court of public opinion, because if you look at it, majority of Liberians that reacted to this whole case said it was bogus. They were against it. Only a tiny minority, very, very minute portion of the people that they were pushing it because they felt it was in their interest politically. But even they themselves knew it was a non-issue. But they wanted to use the government. They wanted the government to use the justice system to do the dirty work for them. And the government felt it was in their favor. So they were working collaboratively to make sure that Cummings is out of the picture. So yes, you and I, we were not surprised. This is something we expected. We didn't just know when and how they were going to do it. But they've calculated their move very efficiently to do it in a way that all the opposition will seem to be happy with whatever the outcome are or the outcome is. So yes, that
So,
report that report was a major factor, one of the major factors.
so Mr. Cannon, I know the questionings that we have on SKTV sites, they're in sequence, but I'd like to skip that order based on what you just said.
One more is calling. He doesn't know on the show. Hold on one second. Let me let it tell him. Hello? Yeah, we're on the show. You trying to call on the show or you trying to talk to me? All right, I'll call you after the show.
So,
Yeah.
so we're going to skip that order or that sequence, and we'll jump straight to the last part of this questioning. Should the CDC be commended for dropping this case? Because somebody could say, finally, the CDC did the right thing. They let all the oppositions go free, and now everybody can do what they want to do. Everybody can go their way. Like you said, it was Friday looking like a candy day. Santa can get everybody candy, everybody they're happy.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah. So what do you say? Should the CDC be commended for taking this move? Because they could have been stubborn and say, well, we'll continue on the case. We'll drag this case and we'll carry it to next year. But finally, should they be commended?
I would say no.
But why not?
You can never reward bad behavior.
Okay.
Something that should not have started at all, something that you knew it was not right, something that, let me tell you something, from the get-go, we all knew that this was something orchestrated purposely to derail the progress of Alexander Cummings. It was designed purposely to shame Alexander Cummings, to denigrate him, to disrespect him, to make him look bad. And the man was subjected to a lot of insult, to disrespect. Non-entities, people that couldn't even govern themselves, people that cannot even settle themselves, we're calling him criminals. Even criminals who themselves cannot measure anything with Cummings. Cummings was subjected to being disrespected by all those people who did it, the government. This is not like they didn't know. If this is something that came out abruptly and then the government found themselves in it, then later on they realized, this is the wrong thing to do. We didn't know, what it was. Now that we know, we're dropping it. Then, of course, they could be commended. But someone who is part of a clique from the get-go, why must you commend them? You can only tell them, well, finally, you realize that your failed attempt at this individual, his person, his character, his integrity, you have finally realized that it's taking you nowhere. And by continuing to do that, we have a serious ripple effect, and the ramification will not be favorable to you. So it's like they're saving themselves. Why do you thank somebody for saving himself? They did nothing. Because this is something that they shouldn't have started. So they deserve no credit, deserve no commendation. In fact, we should continue to criticize them, that they should learn from their mistake. Liberia belongs to everybody. Let us open a level playing field for everybody, irrespective of your party affiliation, tribe, or country of origin. Everybody should have the level playing field, equal right. That is our alienable right. That cannot be suppressed. No one should be deprived of their right. So by you trying to deprive somebody right, trying to shame somebody, trying to disrespect somebody, and then you stop doing it, somebody should thank you or thank you for stopping. Somebody is to tell you, say you are very stupid. When you started, don't do it again. If you do it again, it's not going to be good for you. That's what they deserve. But you can't tell them thank you because they did nothing good. They wouldn't stop the stupidity they were perpetuating. That's all. And now you are muted.
The flip side of this question also, Mr. Kane, and I will have to agree with you that the government should have listened from the get-go and not bring this shame and disgrace to themselves, because this is shameful. This just corroborates everything else that has been said about the judicial branch of government or the justice system or even this executive, because they've been melting into things that they shouldn't even be melting into. It just corroborates that, yes, this was a game plan. They were working together all along. And there was no need to put them in this already noise that they got behind, and there was no need for all of this. We told them from the beginning, they say, we didn't let it go, man, and we didn't let Jowia, and we let this. We said it from the beginning, y'all stop this thing. But on the other hand, Mr. Kane, here's my question to you. What does it say about Benena Ure, the rest of the folks that accused, that brought on this allegation that could not be proven? What does it say about everybody else that collaborated, whether from the Unity Party or so forth? What does it even say about Joseph Yuma Baga, who took the stand? What does it say?
It says a lot. It says a lot, and the question is, who cares? Who cares? It says a lot that not only that the government is corrupt, but those who aided and abetted the government to engage in a corrupt act themselves are corrupt. But who cares? In Liberia, everybody protect their own criminals. Since when? It has become apparent in Liberia that Benina Ure is one of the most corrupt-minded person in Liberia. Since when? People know. Since when? Henry Costa, Benina Ure's son, that he only do pay to play. He only go for the highest bidder. But who cares? Those that believe him, they still believe him. Those that follow him, they still follow him. They care less about the behavior. That's why in Liberia, you got to fight for yourself. You got to fight for what is right. You remember last week or the week before, we did a show here. We said whether or not it was time for Mr. Cummings and his supporters and the Liberian people to say enough is enough. You remember that?
Right.
They are watching. They listen. They know what was coming for them. They knew. Trust me, they knew. So whatever they were doing They knew exactly what they were doing. But in the middle, they found out that this is not something workable. We might not get our desired outcome. So because of that, we got to let it go. So they had no choice. So to say, what does it say about the people? That is already a known thing. Everybody know that Benin is corrupt. Everybody know that Costa is corrupt. Everybody know that. Everybody is fine with that. That's why I say, who cares? Everybody know exactly who. Let me tell you something. Yesterday, one of my friends, this person, very close to the Unity Party, this person was telling me about the mindset of Liberians. He said, my brother, our people, our mindset is different. We are different sort of people. The person said, you think about this. He was challenging the leadership style of Joseph Numa Boakai. He said, Boakai supposed to be president by now through Ellen, but he was not smart enough to do what is right. He did not show leadership. He harbored malice against Ellen to the extent where it was detrimental for him. That's when Ellen switched her support from him to incompetent George Manawia. Beyond that, the person told me, you know what, look at this. The CPP, in as much as there were some disagreement, but CPP did not disintegrate until Baka took power. CDC got destroyed until Boakai became the chairperson. And the person went forward to say, okay, you think about this, Sekou. 12 years of vice presidency and everything they may have done in his life, up to where he is right now, have shown no leadership, have shown nothing that could make somebody to say this man should be president. But he said that yet right now, Sekou, if you go to Liberia, especially you go to somewhere, some area in Liberia, you ask them, they will say, yeah, we want Baka to be president. When you ask them why, because the people not suffer too much for the president thing. That man enjoy too. And in that time. If those are the kind of people that are making decisions, what do you expect? So the brother was telling me, if you whatever you are doing in Liberia, make sure. Don't worry about the people then. Do what is right. In the end, they will fall in line. So, in short, I'm not surprised of what happened. And to say what it says about them, that is something that we already know. But the only disappointing thing is, even after a clear display of those lack of leadership, ingratitude, disrespect, after all of that, some people still believe you're the best. Similar to George Manawia. Everything that happened in Liberia, up to where we are right now, since we are from the time he was playing on the soccer field, lack of leadership. When he took over Lone Star, lack of leadership. He became senator. He showed no leadership. But yet, Liberian people say, that's the man they want. Those are the kind of people we are. You don't have to give reason. You don't have to be good for them to support you. So what you do, just do what is right and care less about some of those reactionaries and belly driven people. So in short, I'm not surprised at anything. My only disappointment is the way Liberians we process things. Our inability to distinguish what is wrong and what is right from what is right. That's my only concern, Steve. And I hope that bring people will learn down the line somehow, sometime. The person told me, hey, let me tell you, Sekou. He said he went to Liberia. He asked few people randomly, say, hey, Sekou. Me say, hey, Mr. This or Madam this. Who you want to go for president? He told me, he was very honest to me. He said, among 10 people, 6 or 7 of them will always say, if you compare GNB to Kumis, 6 to 7 of them will say GNB. The people he talked to, he asked them why. He said, Kumi, imagine coming. So they don't factor in your accomplishment. They don't factor in what you are capable of doing. They don't factor in your record. They don't factor in anything. But because somebody believes Steve, if Steve say, okay, Baka is good, then everybody say, okay, yeah, Baka is good. Then the same Steve, tomorrow, if you say, no, Baka is not good, then they'll come again and say, no, yeah, Baka is not good. People that think like that, Steve. How can you hope on those people? So we just have to pray and work harder. And work harder to educate our people, to be able to make decisions for themselves. And for them to look at themselves, look at their status, look at their living standard. Whether they are like other countries, not even Western countries, other African countries. Look at Ivory Coast, they fought. Well, Ivory Coast today is one of the best countries you can live in. Look at Sierra Leone right here. They destroyed. But the mindset of we Liberians is different. And to fight to change that mindset, it is something that's incumbent upon me, you, and everybody else to continue to educate our people, to do what is right, and be able to make critical analysis on issues and support what is right and go against what is wrong. People who are saying, let's say, for example, who are saying they're not supporting commies, that's okay. That's their opinion. That's their right. But it must be based on reason, good reasons. It must be based on record. It must be based on the fact that the alternative that you are choosing is better than commies. If you say you don't want Boakai, similarly, it should be based on something, but not just, group thinking, going with the flow. So that is the concern. Liberian people, the mindset needs to be changed, and to do that, we have to really, really work harder. Other than that, trust me, you'll be surprised to see something strange.
Well, Mr. Kane, like you said earlier on, we have this mentality of sympathy voting, and it hasn't led us to anything, or popularity voting. It hasn't led us to anything. And like I said, we have work to do. We do have a serious work to do. And this is not only you, this is not only me. This is to all well-meaning Liberians who know the truth, who want actual change, who know that these guys are of no good. And I say this, you know, in no disrespect to anyone, but it's some things there you must take the high, you must take a tough stand, and you must stand up. This issue of sitting on the fence and not want to be part of the Liberian politics, we'll cycle back to this if we all sit on the fence. We'll cycle back to this, and it will even be worse. It will be worse. We cannot afford to make this mistake. We cannot afford. We cannot afford to turn this country into the same people that led this country to what it is today. And I keep saying nothing against Vice President Joseph Yuma Boyka, but the fact remains, Vice President Joseph Yuma Boyka, Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, President George Weah, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, all four of these people got us into the mess we are in today. All four of them. All four of them. You want change? Get rid of all four of them. They shouldn't come back. None of them should see presidency. Let them go sit down with a Satuka. Let them go sit down with the corruption and the bad law. All of them are corrupt people. All of them. None of them excuse. All of them are corrupt. But Mr. Kanye, let's get to the last point, because when we say some of these things, people think that, but we want change. We can't recycle. We can't keep recycling the same people. These are the same group of people, whether you like it or not. These are the same group of people. You can't bring United Party back to power and you expect anything to change. That is not true. That is not true. So let's go to the last point here, Mr. Kanye, because this thing is getting interesting as we're getting closer. It's even getting scarier on a daily basis. But let's get to the last point here. What's next for the opposition? And when I say opposition, I'm not talking about regime collaborators. I'm not talking about these guys who we know off the record that they're in collaboration with the regime. I'm talking about serious-minded people who want something different. I'm talking about people who want to stand against this recycling, this system of, oh, we're familiar with the person, what are the person on a time, dress, the person then they're like being sympathy with it. I'm not talking about those group of people who have already made up their mindset that they will get appointed or they will get someone a job. I'm talking about serious-minded people who want to move this country forward. What's next for the opposition?
First of all, when you say opposition, we have two groups of opposition. The first group are the people who are being part of the system. But right now, they do not have the luxury, do not have the opportunity to exploit the country. They will behave like the people in the past. They will behave like the current government, even worse. But yet, they do not have the opportunity to do that. Those are one set of opposition that feel like, okay, George, we have had enough now. It is our time to come again. Mm-hmm. And not only the major actors, but they too have their collaborators, their supporters, their fan base. And for the most part, most of their fans and supporters are based sectionalism, on sectionalism, tribalism, on party affiliation, but nothing constructive that they are basing their support on. Nothing substantive. All they want than their time. That's one set of opposition. It's everywhere. It's in Liberia, even in the diaspora. You understand? So the other group are people who want something new, who want to set a different standard when it comes to the way our people being treated, when it comes to providing security, when it comes to making food affordable for everybody, when it comes to creating the avenue for employment, investing in private sectors. That's why you see most of the people who are level-headed leaning one side. When I say level-headed, educated ones, most of the young people, most of the people, even those that in Liberia that they are going to school, they all look in the same direction. They may not agree on one person, but all of them want to see a change. You see that? They may not have one person as their change of agent, but that particular group of people, they want to see something different. Some of them have experienced different countries, different part of the world. They want to see Liberia like that. Those people are also another set of people. They are leaders or the point guards, people then that they put in front to lead them. Some of them may not even understand the way politics play in Liberia, but their intention is good. So some of them struggle with that. So when you ask me what next for the opposition, I am not part of the group, or I'm not going to support the group of people who want to continue to corrupt the country. So people with progressive minds, people that want to see change in Liberia, people that want to see that people walking everywhere in Liberia without looking behind, those people need to continue to work, especially identify their fan base, identify their support base. Basically, identify the young people. Make maximum outreach to the young people. Even, not only in Monrovia, everywhere. Forget about some of those old-fashioned guys that we not understand. Let me tell you something. There are some people in some part of Liberia, and they believe it. When they say Cummings was an executive or second man in command for Coca-Cola, you know what I'm thinking? Coca-Cola factory right there. In Pink. Yeah, but the man, but let me go face Coca-Cola, man. Jeffrey, I saw somebody wrote, the man just came from Coca-Cola factory and he want to be president. Let me go by, man. You don't know. So, people like that needs to be educated. People like that deserve to be educated. Sometimes education is not about putting them on the bench, go to the blackboard and write to them, to tell them about what life is all about. That at a certain age, not one person in Liberia, everybody in Liberia should have cell phone, at least. Entitled to a cell phone. Every grown-up man or woman, every individual above 18-year-old should have cell phone. At least they don't know that. They don't know that's their right. Because you know why? That is the line of communication to keep you informed. Some people in the country they don't even watch TV like that, but they got all the information on the cell phone. And the fact that their area where they live, there's no satellite, there's no signal there for cell phone. But yet people who are in taking the money for getting to or refusing to improve the life of those people in the interior part, that these people, they deserve to be communicated. They deserve to be connected with the rest of the country. They clap for the same people. People who are depriving them their right to go to good school. They're clapping for those people. People that are depriving them from drinking clean drink or safe drinking water. They don't have light. But when those people are coming to meet with them, they will carry generator, they will carry everything because they don't want to live in heat. They don't want to live and sleep under the mosquito. They will come and bring those light. They will go and stand under those lights and start clapping for them. They don't know that they too deserve. So those people, they deserve education. They deserve to be talked to. They deserve to reach out to on a daily basis, and not only in Morovia. Morovia, you may have huge number of people, but election is not just one in Morovia. So when you say what's next for the opposition, they just need to reach out, and not just reaching out, but to the relevant people. Get young people involved. Make them to feel that they are living in hell, even though they're living in it, but some of them they don't even know. Some of them are accustomed to the kind of life they are living in. They don't know that they have another right. They don't know. They don't understand. And you know, in Liberia, people are very quick to be satisfied. People are very quick to be satisfied. So that education is very, very, very important. And that's what they need to do. People who are fighting for the status quo to remain, those people are not going to change. People who want change, they have to work for it. They got to reach out. They got to educate the people. You got to go to the remote part of the country to talk to the people. Tell them what is right. Tell them their own right. Tell them what they deserve. Tell them whatever they are getting is not enough for them. Tell them, educate them that they have the resources. They have everything to make them look like Ivory Coast. When they cross the border, my man, they go to Ivory Coast. They feel like they are in Western country. If you cross the border, you just leave from Ganta, past JK, you go Zerekore, Guinea. People that are living better with cell phone signal in every part of, almost 90% part of the country. You got cell phone signal with no problem. I mean, we send people during the election to counties. When they get there, they took pictures of election results, but they couldn't even send it. When they send it, it takes 3, 4, 5 hours loading. It's not going through. They have to take the picture, take the motorbike, go around, drive miles looking for signal, Steve. Shamefully so. But yet, when the same people who are refusing to develop the country, pocketing the money for themselves, their family, and their girlfriends, when they come there, they clap for them. They don't know they deserve those things. They don't know that those people that they are clapping for, they are stealing from them. But guess what? If the people in government, if they steal $1 million and go spend $100,000 and build 3, 4, 5 little 2-bedroom houses, they be happy for them. They tell them thank you. They want to lay down so they can walk on their back because they don't know. So anything the opposition can do, Steve, is to make sure to launch a vigorous voter education. Help the people help themselves. Make the people to understand exactly what is going on. And definitely, even though they know, but you have to tell them, remind them, show them the difference. Make them to understand that the white boys and those Black Americans and those Liberians who are in America here, they are not smarter than those children in Ganta, in Saclay, in Zozo, in Vaun. Those children, they are smart, they are very smart as well. But they don't have the opportunity. They have been deprived of the opportunity. The country, we have the resources to give them that the opportunity. And we are not here. We are not smarter than those people in Liberia. But we have the leverage. We have an opportunity here they don't have. Most of those people, they are behaving the way they are behaving because of lack of information, lack of opportunity. Let me tell you the perfect example. A kid born here, even the TV they watch, the kids movie and kids television they watch, and kids video they watch from YouTube. Educate them how to speak good English. Educate them to do what is right. Here, if your kids are used to watching only kids stuff, if you say a bad word, they say, "Oh, Daddy, no, don't say that. That's a bad word." That kid was not born like that, but they have the opportunity. They have every necessary tool available to them to learn and to understand, so their mind can grow. Their mind can grow. You know, the things that they can fix, like say for example, GPS, other smart cameras, and other things that they call artificial intelligence. You know what those things are made? Those things, those are machines. You train them to do things. Even dogs, here, the K9, you can see with the police when you're traveling. The dog can be running to everybody, smelling everything because they are trained to know the smell of certain thing. Once that thing is there, they will identify it. Go bring one dog from Zedu. Let me call different partner because I'll tell you calling my Nimba Cantina. Go bring one dog from Zedu or carry camp. Can't bring it here and we can't put the dog. The dog will pass among drugs and anything. They don't even know what's going on because they're not trained to know, to understand that. So in short, Steve, every human being, we are created equal. But the environment we grow in, the environment has a greater impact on us. I don't need to lecture you. You are a psychologist. You know exactly what I'm talking about here. So politically, the people in Liberia, the common people, must be educated. Tell them they are right. And tell them if they fight for it, not only tell them they are right, but also make them to understand that if they fight for it, they will get it. Because it's two things. Knowing your right is one thing, but how do you get it? How do you get it? You got to fight for it. That's why court don't go around be looking for cases everywhere. But if you bring your case to them, I'm talking about good courts. I'm not talking about our justice system in Liberia. If you bring your case to them, they will give you a right if you are right. So you have to fight for it. And the people need to be informed, educated, and tell them what their rights are, and they should fight for it. And when they fight for it, they will get it. So that's what needs for the opposition. Education, educate the voters, not just Monrovia. Go across. It's not all about money. You know, here in America, people spend money on election. But it's different from the way we spend money on election in Liberia and some part of Africa. People spend money to educate voters in this country, to sell their message. That's how they spend money on election. To also send people to go out, to go knock on doors, to talk to people in person. That's how they spend money. They don't go to voter distribute money or bake of rice on voters. No, they don't do that. They spend the money to provide the avenue, the opportunity for the people to learn, to them to understand as to who and what they are voting for, and what is in store for them if they do vote for that person. That's why people spend money. But in Liberia, when they say, oh, election is expensive, they think election is expensive because you got to go and give $200, $50, $5 to every person to vote for you. People can say money can buy election. They don't even understand what they're talking about. Yes, money can buy election. If you just go and give somebody $5, go vote for me, they will eat your $5 and vote for whoever you want to vote for. But if you spend that money to reach out, to send the relevant people out, to put out the relevant information, educate them properly, make them to understand what you have as policy prescription, the idea, they will understand and they will do the right thing. But because people are not informed, Steve, that is impacting their decision making.
Okay, well, Mr. Kane, just before we open the line to take some calls here, I will get back with you in a minute. But I just wanted to add this up. I think in my assessment of everything that happened, I think and I believe it was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise, because, like you said earlier, it not only exposes the real opposition as to those who whether you want to term it as regime collaborators or just people who want to come around and play games with the Liberian people because they benefit some way, somehow. Because when you look at this whole thing, Mr. Kane, this is history repeating itself. These guys are not only buying off people, these guys are collaborating. How do you say you are an opposition, but you collaborate with your title opposition or your new opposition in itself? It means you have a responsibility. You have something. You are the next government in waiting. If you are collaborating with the current government to do what is wrong, not what is right, to do what is wrong and unconstitutional, what does it say about you? It speaks volume. So this entire case, this entire CPP situation, it was a blessing in disguise so that the Liberian people can understand exactly what they have on hand and what the options are. We know what the options are now. We know who are the options and we know who are not the options, whether you like it or not. We know who are not the options. So at the end of the day, like you said, this voter education issue, this information, we must push it. We must have this conversation on a daily basis. And I will say to Tiawan Gonglo, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo, to my boy here who on a horse arrest, I just forgetting his name because me and him will not be in touch for a minute now. So Tato Kase, you know, to my poor Tato Kase, I know he's taking ambition to run. He's saying we'll stay change Liberia, but that one on and it's Cummins and other people, Mr. Kane. It's about time that they make the case. It's about time that they make the case. These guys who won the same, like you said, Mr. Kane, this is about comfortability. These guys are comfortable with the same cycle, the same group of people. They're comfortable with them. So they're able to wiggle their way through because they know each other. They know each other. So it's one thing for you to accuse somebody and say, oh, they're working with the government. That's one thing. But let's see the actions of those who are working with the government and those who are not working with the government actually. Those who are working with the government, we've seen them. They're not hearing anymore. They've come up to tell you. You see about their actions.
Let me not to cut you off. Let me just say this. We talk about those working with the government because people are very quick to carry misinformation. Working with the government is not a bad thing if you are doing positive thing for the government, for the country. Right. So when you say working with the government, those who are working with the government to destroy the country, those who are working with the government to destroy other opposition. Because when you say those who are good, you can collaborate with the government on a good note to help the country move forward in any way you can. That is not a bad thing. But to work with the government, aiding and abetting corruption, corrupt practices, those are things that we are speaking against. So when we say working with the government, collaborating with government, if it's on a good note, wherein Liberia term to benefit, that's not a bad thing. So I just wanted to, make that point, Steve. So because when you say working with the government, some people think, they don't want anybody to work with the government. You can work with the government, but on a good note, on a positive note, wherein Liberian people can benefit, but not at the detriment of our people.
And thank you, Mr. Kane, for providing that context. And I think I alluded to that when I said they work with the government to go against the Constitution, but indeed for expounding on it and for providing more context and I think we've seen this. This is not a made-up mind thing. Some people say, oh, you made up your mind against this person or you don't like this person. Let me say this. I've made up my mind for change and to move forward. I've not made up my mind to recycle. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time. I am not going to waste my time. And I'm encouraging every Liberian I want to move forward. Don't recycle. Don't waste your time. You recycle, you will have the same thing. Look, we say in Liberia, if the ring came and didn't fill your bucket, the dew will not fill it. Start wasting your time. These guys are not going to change. They know each other. They know exactly what they are doing. All the things you see them doing, they can go behind closed door and have conversations. They're making fool out of you. That is why you will see people will sit on other platforms and say the other person should wait for 2029. When the Constitution says everybody has the right as a Liberian to run. Or the other person like this. Or the other person shouldn't be in a race. They should wait for 2029. So
are we going to open the line?
Yes, we're about to open the line right now. So all these funny things and these funny things.
Let me pin a number there.
It speaks volume.
Yeah.
It speaks volume to the effect. But please, only the first caller will have more than 1 minute. The rest of the callers, please, you have 1 minute because we're approaching our 2 hours mark and would like to stick on course, please. We're begging you guys. We're not trying to hold you, but get to the point. Make your contribution. I already got one caller here.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, let me get the first caller. Caller, hold on. I got you on the headphone here. Let me put you on speaker. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
It's Brazilian Monk Cyrus from Minneapolis, Solution.
Brazilian Monk Cyrus from Minneapolis. My man, what thing happened? What thing happened to your Wemo Pele Facebook? Instant
my page got hacked for the second time. I don't know, bro. I don't know who's on that mission.
My man, you need to come to my school, man, so I can teach you.
Yeah, every time we come.
Because every day they attempt on mine every day on a daily basis.
Yeah, but what's your take though? What's your take?
Yeah, I've been following what Segu been saying. Segu been saying like he just said it for what it is. The thing is like, brother, it's not about voter education, it's about the people willing to change. Look, I told you Steve Bowling, like I've said on so many occasions, like a broken record. People will choose to stay in poverty rather than change. Who told you the people in Liberia now, well, who keep it in bondage? But they get that Stockholm syndrome. They don't want to try something different. They know the players. They know the people who control the economy. They know the people who control the system that want to keep them in poverty. Perpetual poverty. But I say like brain poverty like a business model. Somebody come to put you in poverty, steal for 6 years. Just before the election, come to come with a little project here and there, bamboozle the voters, give you bed rest, and then you give them 6 or 9 years back in power. It's a business model. But like I said, you got 3 options. If you want incompetence, then go for Georgia. If you think your life is better than what it was 6 years ago or 5 years ago, you go for Georgia. If you want tax failure, you go for Joseph Walker. If you want something different, then you will go with Cummings. It's as simple as ABC. Like I said, it's not about policy. Because for as long as I've been knowing myself, there have been voter education going like that. We've been through how many elections? If we didn't back to 1997 for the charter regime, I would say maybe 4 or 5 elections now. So the issue is not about voter education, it's about the people willingness to try something different. That's why they don't want to do. And we keep getting the same result. Nobody want to get beyond tribal politics. Nobody want to get beyond sentimental politics. Nobody want to get beyond a party line. I mean, go beyond that point. And you go to Lofa County, most likely Joseph Boga will win Lofa County. If you go to Grand Baza County, they're going to vote for a Baza candidate. It's the simple stuff. So the issue here is not about the candidate's message. It's not about voter education. It's just about the people who you are most sympathetic to. Are they willing to try something different, something new? That's what you saw with the Comey case. The Comey case was as clear as broad daylight that anyone with an ounce of a brain could tell there was no case there. But it was all about the politics. Because what? He's an outsider. Like I said, the whole idea of the CPP, the people who came with the idea of the CPP was about correlating Joseph Boakai. Whether you like it or not, the idea was anybody coming to the CPP, you either be number 2 or number 3 if you want to be part of the collaboration, like the CDC collaboration. The moment it is not coming choose to challenge Joseph Boakai for the nomination, the whole CPP went disarray because that was not the intent. The intent was to correlate him, was not somebody to come and challenge him. So from there, you've been seeing all this split and then people undermining somebody or guy who believe there is no justice system like Liberia, but somehow he taking another about the collaborating part of the same justice, corrupt justice system. Now, when they came up with this forensic auditing, what was the excuse? That it was bought and paid for by Cummings. And that when you saw the social media, it was bought and paid for by Cummings, how other people were never interviewed. And in fact, the outcome was predicted because Cummings was the one that brought him. But guess what? A week after the forensic audit came, what happened? Supreme Court and your so-called Solicitor General telling you that they're dropping the case. Why did they drop that case? Because there was no there. The people who came out with that scheme, they succeeded in destroying Cummings politically. I mean, whether you're from the ANC, whether you sympathize with Cummings, that was just it. Like I said, the people who came out with that plan, they were never stupid. They took the slow Cummings momentum down. They pin it as a criminal. That's why they came up with this adjective of fingering document with criminal and malicious intent. And you keep, they get the Nazi propaganda. When you keep telling people lies repeatedly, at a certain point in time, they will start accepting it as the truth. And that's exactly what it did. Every morning, just tell Liberian people, Comey is a criminal. He fingered the document. Even in the absence of any credibility or any evidences, you just tell them that Comey is a criminal. And now what happened? It destroyed him politically. Okay. So getting back your momentum, I don't know if he's capable of doing that because the damage has been done already. It's not impossible, but at least they succeeded in the short term by slowing your momentum, destroying him, painting him as one of them. So that way, when you come to the general election, there is no way you can draw a contrast between Cummings and Boakai or Cummings and Yule. We are all criminals. That was the intent. And they succeeded in doing that. That was the whole idea of the fingering document.
Thank you, Thank you.
Let me say this before you go though. I just want to disagree with you. I want to agree with you and disagree with you. I will agree with you. They succeeded in slowing him down, but in painting him as one of them, that was unsuccessful.
Well, in the court of law, you will say we're unsuccessful, but in the court of public opinion, people don't read; they are sentimental.
Yeah, so, but we are looking at the ratio. We are looking at the ratio. How many people believe? How many people believe that Cummings is a criminal? Cummings actually did a criminal or did something with criminal intent? How many people? One of those people who formulated this bogus case, who planned it, who orchestrated it, are the one and their enablers, are the one that believe that Cummings is X, Y, and Z because that's what they want him to be. But vast majority of Liberians don't believe that. They knew that this thing was a bogus case, and so they were. I would say they were not successful in making him look like one of them, but they were successful in slowing his momentum down, like you said. I agree with that 100%.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, woman. Thank you so much. I've got about tons of calls. Let me get them on. Thank you so much, woman. Thanks for your participation. Yes. Let's get it in order as they call me. Let me get the first person on really quick. I have lots of people calling Mr. Kane, a lot. So I have to.
I have a caller here, though.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay.
Get your caller.
Okay, I think this is Cindy here. Hello?
Okay. She on the other line with you.
Okay. Yeah, but I was trying to open online, but I don't know what she should do. Hello?
Hello, Sebu. Hi.
Hey, hold on. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Thank you so much for having me. I have been calling in since I left your state. I think they should follow me here. But I wanted to acknowledge the both of you analysis and what you continue to do for Liberia. I'm not going to be screaming and carrying on today. There's no essence for that. But what I would like to say to the Liberian people is I think woman Billy Osiris were on point. I'm talking about voter education. You don't need someone to tell you that you are hungry. You don't need for someone to tell you that your life is in jeopardy, that your children will be raped on a daily basis, that they will not get justice, that the poor will be lied on in jail for no reason. If that is not enough for you to make a turnaround, that is on you. But here where we are, Steve is correct. The very people who sat on the table for 14 years, from Abuja to Accra to Dakar to all the different countries, in the name of peace accord, every time they came back, they multiplied. Although the oil said Doe were bad and were coming for Doe. Doe was killed in 1990. 14 years later, they were still multiplying, morphing into different things. Those very people came for different agencies, and the remnant of them who gained through the blood and the interruption of our lives, those are the state ones who still staging their lives and livelihood. So I don't blame those who are doing what they're doing. They're doing it because the Liberian people allowed them to do it. 6 years ago, the promise then changed in the right direction. The change has not come. It's even worse than it was yesterday. The promise then justice and accountability, the full implementation of the TRC. They offer them a protection of their little girls and boys. They promised then job creation, that they would not be spectators in their own economy. They also told them that they were offer opportunity, and they squandered those opportunities. Steve said that, rightfully that, they are no longer in the shadows. They are out in the public. Whether we like it or not, the decision is ours. Since there's a line for them to stand in, for me, I don't think they were convincing enough. I said that from the onset in January, I believe on January 26th, that there was no injury to the state. The murder and the rape of our children have more injury to the state than an organization having an argument about documentation process and procedures. Now, as we said on the onset, the Solicitor General said that on Friday there was not evidence, although from the onset he said he had mountain of evidence. That was in itself says the lie. My sister Yomni Kanga came forward and said we never said Cummings did anything. We only told him to take responsibility. My thing is, responsibility for what? And I'm glad that Mr. Cummings stood up. But how many companies are out there with the kind of character and connection and the money that if they were rely on, they would be able to pull what when the government have been able to pull in the last 50 years of my life? Because we call PricewaterhouseCoopers to come to Liberia to investigate financial fraud. When they were in power in the 80s, I was just a kid. They bring down some of the, because when the people were coming in. Ellen Johnson government brought in forensic pathologists for the injured Tupac case and for the Harry Grease case. George Weah brought in forensic pathologist for Odell Sherman, which data says sabotage. But only those who have made it will be able to do that, and with the pressure of us from the diaspora. Sekou and Steve and all of you who are listening, I'm going to say this and I'm going to make a lot of people mad. It is not about you. It's not about your tribe. It's not about anybody. It's about my children and their children and your children's children. And those who come in my inbox every day, and the children that I see that are struggling and being murdered and being lied on and being molested.
We lost her. So go ahead, Steve. Steve, you're muted. We're not hearing you.
Yeah, I do have a caller here. Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
I don't know. The line dropped.
Duke, how are you?
Yes, Duke, how are you?
Not bad, not bad. Let me say, Sekou, man, you sounded like Dr. King today, man. And, very powerful. And I want to recognize the platform and just say thanks for all the work that you guys do. I think it's important that Liberians can hear from you. But quickly, I know you guys have covered a lot of things. And, I'm not here to just repeat, but just say just something that Sekou made reference to. Look, we're at the phase now wherein we now have to focus on talking directly to Liberian people. I know we've had the sparring, we have all of the extra stuff that comes with politics, but eventually, I think this is a messaging side. So I want to take the opportunity. Young people is that base that we talk about. Women, that base that we also talk about. Look, right now, the voters in Liberia, there's a mixed bag, right? There are some who remind me of the regular Trump followers, right? And what that is that those are the all kind of voters that stuck onto the people in the kind of patterns and that they support. So sometimes it will be really difficult to get the message across. But change can happen in Liberia. It happens in the United States, it happens in a developed country. And the group that can spur that change are young people. Over 1 million of voters, per numbers that I have, shows that almost 1 million of our people register to vote, but they don't show up to vote on election day. So those people were telling you, your voice matters, and we have to make sure that we're rewriting, Liberia's future. For those young people in the colleges, university, in the towns, the rural areas and stuff that need optimism, your optimism lies in change, not the repetitive political system that continues to deprive you of the change and all of the things that you need for your rights. So that's our call, and that's going to be our message going forward. This is how we're going to work hard. And I just wanted to acknowledge that quickly. And just finally on this point here, Steve, because I know you got some color, let me say this. You don't go around maligning the character of a good man and think it's just politics as usual. Let me go on record on this show. There will be consequences for the actions of people who were involved. Mr. Cummings was never guilty of anything. They saw him as a political threat. They did everything that they could have done in their own nasty and dubious way to malign this man's character. We will make sure that Mr. Cummings will get the kind of representation and the justice that is needed. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, for the show here today. And Sekou, I appreciate it. Glad to see you on here. And thanks to all of your followers. We'll continue to push the message.
Thank you. Well, I got another caller. Let me call this caller back really quick, Mr. Kane, before I get in trouble. My birthday coming, so I got to be on my best behavior. I won't get in trouble with nobody.
When is your birthday?
Oh.
Let them make an announcement and everybody know. So when's your birthday?
June 11. They coming Saturday.
Because me, I know. Every day I can see your birthday.
So the caller, what should I do? Where you calling for, please?
Yeah, this is Mr. Maolo calling from Maryland.
Yes, Mr. Maolo, go ahead, please.
Listen, Sekou, your show couldn't have been better today. And I would just hope that the media will be patriotic enough to do what you guys started to do today. Because listen, this thing is more than politics. Our country is dying. Our country is dying, and I keep reminding people, this is all we got. I don't care where we go in this world, we will be second-class citizens until we go back to that spot. That's all we got. Our children being born here and everywhere else, that is their roots. That way they belong. God was not stupid when he put us there. And we owe it to him to take care of that place. And we sitting down and acting stupid, and our country is dying. And we're playing games with it. I mean, how can people be so wicked that you will see something blatantly wrong and you just jump on a big story about it and everybody happy? You happen to see somebody who has built their character for 40 years. Home image get damaged with lies. And your thing is okay? What you have started to do today, more, and you guys need to get more aggressive with these lying politicians and all of these kind of things. Fact check them right on the show. Educate the people, because the people are hearing you guys know. They listen to the radio. They don't hear the people on the street. They hear and they expect journalists or people in the media to have done the research. But when people get on the media and just blur up nonsense, you're killing the country, because you misinforming a group of people who will never know otherwise, because they're depending on you to tell them the truth, to lead them in the right direction. Nobody say you should support any party, but you just tell the people what they should look for. Our people are unfortunately mostly illiterate and uneducated and unexposed. They're not going to know otherwise. But when they listen to the radio, they say, "Oh, I heard it from Sydney. Is that true? I heard it from this person. Is that true?" If we would just use our time to do the right thing by our country, to see our country rise again, to see our country, our children, to be proud of our children again. You know, I was fortunate to leave that country when I was much younger. And I went all over the world, and there was nothing too big for me. There was nothing, astonished me. Because I came from that scene, Liberia, and nothing blew my mind in the world.
Okay, thank you.
You know, and people got to want our children to reach to that point. And I thank you today for this show, and I hope you guys do more of this in the education part of of our population to educate our people on what to look for and stop listening to the lies and the bribing.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr.
you,
Maulo.
man.
I got another call here.
So hold on. Mr. Maulo last 4 digit is 0321. Because I have a caller here that been on hold forever. I didn't know whether that was him. I even forgot that someone line.
Yeah, it's no. I don't think that's him.
Okay, this person been here for 17 minutes waiting, my man. Hold on 1 second.
Please go ahead. Go ahead. This other person already on hold. Go ahead, please.
Hello, are you there? Oh, the person hang on the line. So go ahead.
Hang on.
Okay, but then let me. Why you?
Yes,
you want to go to me?
Yeah, let me get a caller quick, and then you can make the conclusion here. Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please? And the last caller for the day.
Yeah, Steve and you and Sekou, let me say thank you. This is Japa Maxwell Hooks, and I'm calling from Johnston in Iowa. Okay. I just want to say something short. I am hoping to go to Chicago on the 24th and 26th to meet with Mr. Alexander Cummings. If I do meet Alexander Cummings, I want to kneel down to him. I want to beg his indulgence, not to take this situation, this case, the typical Liberian way. Oh, let a jab go, let a man go with his bad luck, let the people go with their trouble. No. I want to ice to bear to plead with Mr. Alexander Cummings to take Benani Ure and his conspirators to court for psychological trauma, for defamation of character, the consequences that he talked about on your show. Let him pursue that, whether Cummings wins the presidency or not. Sekou and Steve, do you know what it means that a group of hoodlums put together by Joseph Barker and Ure and the Dalons and Youngins will go to court and insult a decent man, roll? Do you know what Cummings went through? I don't care about what a Liberian people want to want to elect Joseph Barker. Is their suffering they're calling for? They want change, but want to go back to a man who agreed that they corrupted and squandered opportunities in our country. If they want to go back there, it's up to Liberian people. Look, since I declared my intentions to contest, and I told you that you say you were going to invite me the last time. Since I declared my intention to contest in Grand Creek County, man, you cannot imagine the level of text messages, the barrage of text messages that people send to me begging. My mom this, my sister that, I've got school fee this. You cannot imagine. If this is what these people want to go back to, is their buttercup. But I just want to plead with Alexander Cummings not to do it the typical Liberian way. That Ure and his conspirator, including Joseph Barker, will pay for the damages of his character. That they must come out publicly to apologize to Mr. Cummings. If we are to achieve peace, if the opposition is to, I'm not talking about their opposition, but that if Liberia is to heal, if Cummings and his group are to be healed, Cummings he should not do it this typical Liberian way. Let a man go with his trouble. You lead it, man, let a man go. That's why I want to see Mr. Alexander, and that's why I will drive 5 hours to go and see him in Chicago, Illinois. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I will call you. Sorry for not calling the oversight. I will call you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Mr. Connor, we'll leave it there for the day. We'll give it.
I think so. So I just want to clarify a few things, specifically when it comes to voter education. You know, sometimes you will say the people already know, but I also want you to know that there are people. Their life have never changed. They don't know what is good. It was not good yesterday. It was not good today. And they believe it's not going to be good tomorrow either. They believe that's their own life. There are people with that mindset. You know what? The same kind of life they were living when President Doe was there, nothing have changed for them. The same life they were living during Ellen Johnson's church till that time, Ellen Johnson's television, nothing have changed for them. So the same life they're living right now under President Weah, they are somehow accustomed to that kind of life. But if they can be introduced to something different, educate them that not only there is other life or better life out there that they don't know, also explain to them that it is their right to enjoy those kind of life. So say, you know, the people that they are suffering, they want to continue with the story. Some of them, they think that's who they are. They don't even know that they deserve a better life. Some people, especially living in the remote part of the country, they think their life, they were just born to suffer because of the environment they live in. Because they are far, some of them believe because they far away from Monrovia, they don't deserve a better life. That's they believe. Because nobody have told them, no, that's not your life. Your life is better than this. This is life being living throughout. But there is something else that you deserve. And you have it. All you need to do is to make the right decision. That's the kind of education I'm talking about. We shouldn't limit Liberia to Monrovia or maybe Kakata, or people that are just down there on the highway from Monrovia all the way to Yekepa or to Logatuo or to Zozo. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people in the hinterland that they don't know that there is a better life. They don't know that. They think because where they live, they deserve nothing. But making them to understand that they deserve something better, and to get that, they have it. All they need to do is to do the right thing, to ask for it. That's not too much to ask for. Somebody can be going through a certain thing. But because the way our country is, because of limited information, people think that kind of life, that's what they are meant for. Let me tell you something. If you live in the Western world, specifically in America here, you go down there. Some people living in Africa, other part of Africa, not only Liberia, they think that you're better than them because you're coming from America. They think that you're better than them. So these people who are somehow carried away by tribalism, people who are deeply engulfed with a sense, in the sense of tribal politics or sectional politics or party discipline, whether it's right or wrong, it's my party. I'm not talking about those people. Those whose minds are clouded or be clouded. Those with closed mind that cannot open up their mind to learn new things. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who really need help. And there are a lot of people out there. There are even more than those people that you think they're important. Look at the voter registration in Liberia. Look at how many people are voting. And after the first round, the second round, look at the number of people voting. It means if you do your due diligence, people that are now voting right now are more than people that are voting. If you don't know that, let me tell you today. You can educate and bring on board new voters. Some people that never voted in their whole life. Some people that think that their vote don't matter. They believe their life is going to remain the same. So they don't care. Those are the people I'm talking about. Those are the people that need to be talked to. I'm not telling you they should be talked to vote for Cummings, to be talked to vote for Boakai or Joey, no. To tell them that it is their right and that the decision they can make today can change their life forever. That education that they need. Some people don't vote, even in America here. A lot of people don't vote. You have more than 340 million people here. For any one presidential candidate to get 70 million votes, it was the last election. You got more than 340 million people living in America. How many people can vote? Some people don't care. Some people think their life is what it is. It's never going to change. The vote or election cannot change their life. That's the belief of some people. But when they are talked to, make them to understand, even though this is the life you're living right now, but your life could be better. Just do what is right, and you'll be fine. Trust me. You may not change everybody, but at least if you talk to 100 people, maybe 50% or less will understand and they will do the right thing. Trust me, if you talk to 1 million people and you get 500,000 people that will listen, that will be very big. So voter education is important. Steve?
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Let's call it a day.
It was good being here.
Thank you so much. Let me make a quick announcement and we'll call it a day because I know both Mr. Kane and I have to run. On Thursday, we're playing host to Michael Tippissing. He will be our guest here on SKTV. Please tune in the same time. We could come on any time of the day or the night, depending on what's going on or what happens. You'll know that we can have emergency shows when things happen. So please.
Who is your host? Michael Tippissing?
Yeah, Michael Tippissing on Thursday.
Is he in Liberia?
No, he's back now.
And man, I saw the post singing for the mail.
The man back now. The man will tell last song what he was singing for.
Oh, the man can tell the money he gave to people that they were singing for him like that.
Yeah. So another thing again also is Saturday we'll be on the show, even though that's my birthday, June 11th, we'll be here. Please check SKTV. If you haven't liked the page so that you can get alerts. Friday, we're on for mental health and wellness. Mr. Kane was here last Friday. You know how much fun we had. So please join us the coming Friday. We'll be talking about defense mechanism so you can understand why people are the way they are. So you can see why people get the way to do things. But Sunday also, we are expecting to have a guest. So it's another full week. So let's get ready, guys. We're moving on. No wasting time. But Saturday is my birthday, but we'll still be on the show. We got to do what we got to do. Yeah. We'll be on the show. Then later on in the afternoon.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna drink hot day and eat meat on your birthday.
You know now that one I want to say yeah before some people then fly from outer state.
No, I don't care because if you say that one right now, Anthony will pay away to come back here job for that DD and tie and telco. Well, anyway, it was good being here.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Let's play our closing song here, Mr. Kane's favorite song that he got. The future, who won't be president? Everybody want to become president.
That one you want to play?
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Kane, you were saying something.
You're not nice, oh.
Eh?
Why you don't want to play? Why you don't want to play some Malolo new song that put it?
Okay, so which one is it? Because I see two of it.
The one that get SKTV, the one that say Bossy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, Bossy. All right, I seen it right.
Yeah. People say.
Pito Calite.
That the one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Let the Bossy there.
All right. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us, for hanging out with us today.
Pito Calite.
Samalolo. Bossy. Yeah. Jade ken amen. Ha. When music bossy over. Jade. Bossy the name of the music killer. Bossy the name of the music killer. Bossy the name. I am bossy the name. Jade. Bossy the name of the music killer. Bossy the name of the music killer. Bossy the name. Wali yangu mango bossy the name. Muso nyuma ungo mango bossy the name. Mambi bolongo bossy the name. I am the bolongo bossy the name. Digitu na de bossy the name. Boss. So Sudan Gabala US Lana gonna move in the bureau la chair. I am gonna when I get up, looking into Tamala, just with the lamp on no go in Gadela. I am so you my young gotela, Labia Masacha or Loma and Bibela. Vasi Basini, Zini Mambikono, Uo Dala Calambenji, la Begamako boss. Why you keep on the Ananke, Polo Ibala Heji, go back at Samalolo Nata and Philipon on Bejila Morovia, Fair Canaben, for Possidene. Antonio Soare, Gin against me, Manga, I bossy the way. Cape said, Chico Press movement, Jatty the tell, I bossy the way. That against Samalolo, na manager Mr. York, na bossy the way. Mr. Duke, na bossy the way. Azaya, go messy lile, Atisiala Chomon go bossy lile. With the blame go bossy lile. Ministro, that Gina lile, journalist, we are Stali, a bossy lile. Madam President, Tumba Fofana, Koyanga Masa, go bossy lile. Seku Kutuku, Mande Festival Chairman, a Chomon go bossy lile. Seku Kene, SKTV, mo go bossy lile. When ka bele wuzu so kama dingo go bossy lile. Sa bola bossy tile. Yama bi sanze do bana si ala bossy tile. Ya telefone wali wo ban bossy tile. Fane dag bele di bolo bossy tile. Nena fola go bossy lene. Na iju kumbala mwane na wali la be. Wadi kona VIP. Nene muzo nyuma si amasini cheli na e. Kwande te bola masini. Wai bola njifala kwa miyo masini. Kisa manga wako kushini. Bobelo nena go masini. Wali bolo ate bana. Gani koni bana aya fama ko. Rabel bana. Bena kasi pasingana, gada le na fola konga jini ngusi tona. Parce que ko posi dene mane musique la, posi dene konya musique la, posi dene, aya posi dene, jate posi dene mane musique la, posi dene konya musique la, posi dene, wali yongu mango posi dene, muso nyuma ungo mango posi dene, mambi yambolongo posi dene, ai anvi yambolongo posi dene, ikituna de posi dene, boss. Kana joy jalala, ya konde ba uka saodo ijalala, nyado dini wala, anachalo na awa nyado malo, gona kia di wala, mambila lo no one sin lolo, nyado stali yalo, versi engana ne jatile lo, nikaka manga isene ijala balola, bossy lile, ai kaka otro tina yu uma balola, bossy lile, kwenye kaso gali mu mangwana boila, bossy lile, okay bossy I don't get. Now my bossy, I don't care. Bossy, I don't care. I know my bossy, I don't care. Bossy, I don't care.